Give me 1 second looking at some notes here. Hey Ross, World, my money makes money. Rent don't buy. Yeah, I said it. Rent don't buy until. Until you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Now, you can reference this video right here where I say buy, don't rent. This is a total contradiction of that video. But I want you to think about some things, and I wrote some notes down here on my little notepad, and I'm gonna go through them, and I just wanna know what you think. Now I'm gonna go over some bills that are associated with a house versus renting. Then I'll give you some numbers, kind of rough numbers, and I really didn't get into the details of them, just so you can see where I'm getting at. So first and foremost, whether it be a house or a condo, most of them have some of the same bills, condo fees, trash, gas, okay. But we're gonna go over it. So with the house you have now, for each house, this may differ or they may be all the same, like my last house. So you have mortgage, you have house insurance, you have property tax, HOA fees, personal property insurance, water, electricity, sewage, gas, trash, and recycle. So those are the basic bills that most houses have. But then we have to factor in some other key things here. Now, most people who get their first house or even their second house, they understand that whether they stay there or they try to sell it, your yard is a big piece of your house. Everybody wants at least their front yard to look well with mulch, sod, flowers, plants, herbs, etc., right? Then if you do it up in your backyard, that's twice as much of fees you'll be paying. You have your lawnmower, you have your gas, you have your oil, unless you have a lawnmower that just sucks up oil and doesn't really have to replace it. But nonetheless, you're paying a fee for that one particular apparatus, that one piece of machinery, just to cut your grass. So here's some other things. Now, we factor in the things that we need to actually live, right? Gas, trash, electricity, water, all those things. What about services bills, right? Those entertainment things you love that are associated with your house or usually go in your house, like cable or satellite or even internet TV, Netflix, Hulu, blah, 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 right? You have all those things. Then if you have all these bills accumulated, now I didn't even count all these bills. I'm gonna let you count all of these bills. Are you still saving and investing? Okay, nonetheless, let's move over to rent, and then after that, we'll go over the bills for the house, okay? Some of these are hard numbers. Some of these are actual numbers from one of my houses, right, that I sold. Rent. Now, granted, some of you will say, man, I'm paying rent, and it's just as much as a house mortgage. You're absolutely correct. But if you just listen to all those bills, now listen to these. You'll have your rent, you have your renter's insurance, maybe water or electric, maybe. Some of those things are included. Like I pay for electricity, but I don't pay for water. And then very few places in the US, you're gonna pay for each bill, unless it's some prestigious apartments where they're gonna make you pay fees as though you were in a house or a condo. Now, in addition to that, we don't pay for maintenance. Now, for your first year or 2 years for your house, you're not gonna pay for maintenance, little knickknacks here and there, but after that, you're gonna pay for those things. As long as you're in an apartment, the apartment's gonna take care of their property with their maintenance men. Now, here's the kicker. I'm gonna move over to some prices, but the point I'm getting at, just so I let the cat out the bag, is before you move out of your apartment, you have to have all your affairs in order to tackle this house, okay? This is no small feat. Everybody's excited about their new house, but no one's doing the research on how much money you'll pay. Now, I went over some bills here, and I diddy up some numbers. Now, first we need to understand that if you're not gonna stay in your house more than 3 years, most real estate agents will tell you you're not gonna make really any money. They really want you to stay in that house 3, 4, 5 years plus, so it builds up equity, the property value builds up, unless you're in a great buyer's market, okay? That means if you're selling, no, let me flip that, that's actually wrong. If you're in a seller's market, you're gonna sell your house for much more than it probably would have been worth if it was a buyer's market. These markets sway from year to year, you just have to watch the trend. So if you're in a seller's market and you're trying to sell your house, it's great, you're gonna get great returns, but if you're a buyer and you're in a seller's market, then you know you're gonna not really make a great deal with somebody because they have a lot of leverage because of the way the market is moving. Nonetheless, here are some bills and the amount they cost over the period of 3 years. And once again, these are rough numbers. This is for 3 years. Water, $3,600 you're paying for water. Sewage, $3,600. Trash and garbage, same thing, right? $4,300. Electricity, $5,400. Gas, $2,800. Then you have mortgage insurance. I factored that in. You have your mortgage, $7,200. HOA fees, $2,100. And then personal property insurance, $720. And I put another fee on here. It's $540. With accumulation, I think it came, before I factor in another bill, was $96,500, and then it went up to like $105,000. So let's just go with the worst case scenario with $105,000. So if you bought your house and you didn't keep it for 3 years or more, and someone tells you, okay, hey, you bought your house for $200, and then your house is only worth $300, and you're thinking, hey, I made $100, so based upon what you just told me, Ross, well, I'm going to make money. Okay, we shouldn't factor in title fees, real estate, the real estate agent fees, unless you're your own real estate. But you're not going to get that extra $100,000 because the other guy who's buying your house, he's willing and dealing. Then it's all these other fees, all these other taxes you got to pay for when you sell that house. So what am I saying? Over the course of 3 years, you would have paid in services. I'm not even counting cable. You saw a mortgage, HOA fees, all this accumulation, all these fees I wrote down. Okay, all these fees I wrote down. You have to understand, if you don't sell your house for a profit of more than $105,000, in my opinion, you will be losing. A house is a liability. A car is a liability. If your house is not making you money, meaning you have some extra rooms and you're renting them out, or maybe this is a rental property, but for most people, it's your home and you're not going to rent out any rooms. So it's a liability unless you sell it for a profit later on, because a liability doesn't make you money. It takes your money. But you're saying, hey, well, when I'm in my house, I'm building equity. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's not making you money right now. Okay, you may make money 3, 4, 5 years from now, but it's not making you money right now. Just as your car, if your car's not paid off and you're not doing Uber, Lyft, or Wings or something like that, then your car is a liability and it's not an asset because it's not making you money. Do you hear what I'm talking about? So you're going to go out because you're like, oh, I'm tired of renting. I'm tired of these apartments. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I want my own house. I want this. I want that. First and foremost, if you thought this over, if you went bill by bill, step by step of buying a home and see how much it really gonna cost you, and you're ready for that, then go do it. Congratulations. Congratulations on your first house. Let me be the first one to congratulate you on your new home purchase. But I'm gonna tell you, quite frankly, there's a lot of people who have been evicted and put out their own homes because they didn't do the math. They didn't sit down. The only thing they knew that with their apartment, they could afford $1,500 a month. So they figure they can afford a house $1,500 a month. No. Property tax, house insurance, HOA fees, etc. Here's another factor you have to factor in too. Different neighborhoods with the same houses cost different amounts, because if you live near a police station, a fire department, most likely that neighborhood is a good neighborhood, and the prices, the property value of them homes are higher than 10 blocks away where the neighborhood is not that good. It doesn't mean that it's a violent neighborhood, but it's just not that good. It's probably not under HOAs. They can do anything with their houses. They don't take care of their lawn. There's no fire department, no schools nearby. Those houses are usually cheaper than those houses in those prestigious neighborhoods. And I don't mean prestigious because everybody's rich, because it's a community, it's a microcosm that they have built. And now those homes' property value is great because people like walking to the store, not using their car, walking their kids to school, so on and so forth. So before you go out and buy your house, you may want to think about renting a little bit longer. You may want to try to get some more money in your pocket from different avenues, whether it be residual income. You want to create wealth before you put yourself in great debt. And just as other financial advisors tell you, most of them tell you, hey, don't accumulate any debt, save up the money, and then go buy your home. But we know that that's not the usual for most people. You can't save up $200,000 until you're like 50 or 60 and you never experience your own home. I'm just saying, make sure you understand every bill that's associated with that house and how houses vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. Okay, you're in an apartment right now. You're probably paying $1,500 to $2,000. You say I'm gonna go out and buy a house, but understand all those fees I went over. This is Ross World, where I try to break things down for you before you make a decision that may end up bankruptcy. You may end up in bankruptcy. So I want you to think about it, and if you're ready, go get it. I'm out.